the first sound is rarely the siren. In the hills of northern Israel, along the tense frontier facing southern Lebanon, the earliest warning is often something softer, an unfamiliar buzzing in the sky. Farmers tending orchards near the border pause and look upward. Soldiers along the fence lines lift their binoculars. Within seconds, radar stations begin to register a small object crossing the frontier. Moments later, the alarms begin to wail. For years, the confrontation between Israel and the Lebanese militant movement Hezbollah had simmered in a fragile balance. After the devastation of the 2006 Lebanon war, both sides avoided full-scale conflict. Yet beneath the quiet, something was changing. Hezbollah was transforming its arsenal. Once known primarily for short-range rockets, the group began developing a far more layered strategy, swarms of rockets combined with reconnaissance and attack drones. The new tactic aimed to stretch Israel's defenses in ways never attempted before. On the Israeli side of the border, entire communities, from Kiryat Shmona to smaller kibbutzim near the frontier, lived within range of Hezbollah's expanding arsenal. Military planners in northern Israel understood the danger clearly. Hezbollah possessed tens of thousands of rockets. But increasingly, the concern was not just the rockets themselves. It was the drones. Small, difficult to detect, and cheap to produce, unmanned aerial vehicles offered Hezbollah something rockets alone could not: eyes in the sky and precision targeting. A drone could scout Israeli troop positions, film radar installations, or even carry explosives directly toward sensitive military infrastructure. These attacks rarely occurred in isolation. Instead, drones would appear alongside volleys of rockets fired from southern Lebanon, forcing Israeli defenses to track dozens of threats at once. The result was psychological as much as military. Sirens echoed across towns. Families rushed into shelters. Schools closed for days at a time. For Israel's northern command, the threat posed by Hezbollah had evolved from sporadic rocket fire into something far more complex: a hybrid aerial campaign combining rockets, missiles, and unmanned aircraft. And each buzzing drone overhead carried a message. The quiet along the border was gone. Hezbollah's transformation into one of the most heavily armed non-state forces in the world did not happen overnight. The organization emerged during the turmoil of the 1980s Lebanese civil war, but its modern military structure was shaped through decades of conflict with Israel. Over time, Hezbollah developed a reputation for discipline, secrecy, and a willingness to study its enemy carefully. After the 2006 Lebanon war ended, the movement began rebuilding its arsenal on a scale that alarmed Israeli intelligence. Rather than focusing only on guerrilla warfare, Hezbollah began preparing for long-range confrontation. A central partner in this effort was Iran. Through financial support, training, and weapons transfers, Iran helped Hezbollah acquire more advanced technology. This included not only precision-guided rockets but also a growing fleet of drones. Some were reconnaissance platforms designed to gather intelligence, others were modified to carry explosive payloads. Over the years, Hezbollah's drone program expanded steadily. Israeli analysts began identifying several types of unmanned aircraft believed to be linked to Iranian designs. One example is the Shahid 136, a loitering munition capable of flying long distances before diving onto its target. Another platform used by Hezbollah is the Ababil UAV, which has been employed for reconnaissance missions. Unlike large military drones used by nation-states, many of Hezbollah's UAVs are relatively simple. Their components can often be assembled from commercially available electronics. That simplicity is precisely what makes them dangerous. A single drone may not carry a large explosive charge. But when combined with rocket fire and launched in groups, drones can overwhelm detection systems and force defenders to expend expensive interceptor missiles. Israeli defense planners increasingly describe the threat in economic terms. A drone costing only thousands of dollars could force the launch of an interceptor costing tens or even hundreds of thousands. Hezbollah understood the arithmetic well. By the late 2010s and early 2020s, the group had quietly constructed a layered aerial capability stretching across southern Lebanon. Hidden launch sites were embedded among hills, forests, and villages. And when the next phase of confrontation began along the northern border, those hidden arsenals would come into play. The rockets usually come first. From launch points scattered across southern Lebanon, Hezbollah fighters fire salvos designed to saturate Israeli air defenses. The rockets streak across the border in arcs of fire, sometimes numbering in the dozens within minutes. Their destination is often the towns and military positions scattered across the hills of the Galilee region in northern Israel. To counter this threat, Israel relies heavily on one of the world's most well-known missile defense systems, the Iron Dome. Developed after years of rocket attacks from militant groups, Iron Dome uses radar to track incoming projectiles and launches interceptor missiles to destroy those predicted to strike populated areas. In many cases, the system works with remarkable effectiveness. Residents in towns across northern Israel have grown accustomed to the sight of interceptor missiles streaking upward, detonating enemy rockets high in the sky. The explosions appear as sudden bursts of light above the hills, fragments falling harmlessly to the ground. But Hezbollah's strategy is not simply about hitting targets. It is about overloading the defense system. Each Iron Dome interceptor is expensive. Each radar track requires processing time. When rockets arrive in large salvos, especially alongside drones, Israeli defenses face a far more complex problem. While Iron Dome engages incoming rockets, drones may slip through gaps in coverage. Some carry cameras to film military bases or infrastructure. Others attempt to strike radar stations or surveillance towers. The goal is disruption. Even when the physical damage is limited, the psychological effect is powerful. Sirens force civilians into shelters again and again. Agricultural work stops. Schools close. Roads near the border fall quiet. For Hezbollah, these attacks serve a dual purpose. They demonstrate the group's ability to challenge Israeli defenses while reinforcing its reputation as a powerful military force across the region. For Israel, the attacks highlight a growing reality. The northern front is no longer defined by rockets alone. The battlefield has moved into the air. Compared to the thunder of rocket launches, drones arrive almost silently. Often flying low and slow, these small aircraft are designed to evade radar and slip through gaps in detection systems. Some resemble hobbyist planes. Others are triangular, with fixed wings and a rear-mounted engine buzzing steadily as they cross the border. For Hezbollah, drones offer several strategic advantages. First, they provide real-time intelligence. A reconnaissance drone can fly above Israeli positions and transmit video footage back to operators in Lebanon. This information helps identify radar installations, troop movements, and potential targets for rocket fire. Second, drones can serve as precision strike weapons. Unlike rockets, which follow a ballistic trajectory once launched, an attack drone can adjust its course mid-flight. It can circle above a target, confirm the location, and then dive directly into it. These so-called loitering munitions blur the line between drone and missile. In recent years, Israeli forces have intercepted numerous UAVs launched from Lebanon. Some were destroyed before reaching their targets. Others managed to penetrate Israeli airspace, forcing air defense systems and fighter aircraft to scramble. The growing drone threat has pushed Israel to expand its defensive network beyond Iron Dome. Systems designed to detect smaller aerial objects, along with electronic warfare tools capable of jamming drone signals, are increasingly deployed along the northern border. Yet the challenge remains formidable. A drone may cost only a fraction of the price of the systems designed to stop it. It can be launched from a hidden site, travel dozens of kilometers, and strike with little warning. For Hezbollah, this imbalance is part of the strategy. Each successful penetration, even if it causes minimal damage, demonstrates vulnerability in Israel's defenses. Each intercepted drone still forces Israel to expend valuable resources. The conflict along the border has therefore evolved into something new, a continuous contest between cheap offensive drones and sophisticated defensive systems. And in that contest, the next attack may arrive not as a roaring rocket, but as a quiet mechanical buzz in the sky. The quiet along Israel's northern frontier did not collapse in a single moment. It eroded gradually, tension building day by day as rocket fire and drone incursions became more frequent. After the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war, 2023-present, the border with Lebanon quickly transformed into a second flashpoint. While the main fighting centered around Gaza, Hezbollah began launching rockets, anti-tank missiles, and drones toward Israeli positions in the north. The attacks were calibrated. Rather than unleashing the full scale of its arsenal, Hezbollah carried out controlled strikes designed to pressure Israel while avoiding an immediate full-scale war. Israeli military posts, surveillance towers, and border infrastructure were frequent targets. But the escalation still forced dramatic changes along the frontier. Towns near the border in northern Israel emptied almost overnight. Tens of thousands of residents were evacuated deeper into the country as rocket alerts and drone warnings became daily events. Roads that once carried school buses and farm trucks fell eerily silent. Across the border in southern Lebanon, Hezbollah fighters operated from a landscape shaped by years of preparation. Launch teams could set up rocket batteries or drone launchers in concealed locations, fire within minutes, and disappear before counterstrikes arrived. Israeli forces responded with artillery fire, airstrikes, and targeted attacks on Hezbollah infrastructure. The exchanges rarely lasted long in any single place. A drone would appear overhead, Israeli defenses would scramble to intercept it, and soon afterward fighter jets would strike suspected launch positions. The result was a rolling battlefield stretching across the entire border region. For Israel's northern command, the strategic problem was clear. Hezbollah's arsenal was vastly larger than that of other militant groups Israel had faced in recent years. The group possessed not only rockets and drones but also anti-tank missiles and precision-guided weapons capable of striking deeper into Israeli territory. Every exchange raised the same concern inside Israeli defense circles. If this was only the limited version of the conflict, what would happen if Hezbollah decided to unleash its full capabilities? Military analysts often describe Hezbollah as the most heavily armed non-state military force in the world. Over decades, the organization built an arsenal that rivals that of many national armies. Intelligence estimates suggest that Hezbollah possesses tens of thousands of rockets and missiles, ranging from short-range artillery rockets to longer-range systems capable of reaching deep into Israel. Much of this arsenal was accumulated with support from Iran. Weapons shipments, training programs, and technical expertise flowed through a network stretching across the Middle East. In addition to rockets, Hezbollah began receiving guidance technology that allowed certain missiles to strike with far greater accuracy. This effort became known as the Precision Missile Project. But rockets alone were not enough. Hezbollah strategists carefully studied the weaknesses of modern air defense systems. They understood that even the most advanced interceptors could be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. Drones became the next piece of the puzzle. Iranian design systems, including platforms related to the Shahid 136, offered a relatively inexpensive method of delivering explosives across long distances. Other drones served as surveillance tools, gathering intelligence on Israeli military positions and air defense sites. These aircraft did not need to be perfect. They only needed to force the defender to react. A drone that costs a few $1,000s could trigger the launch of an interceptor missile worth far more. If several drones appeared alongside rockets, the defending system faced a far more complicated challenge, tracking multiple targets moving at different speeds and altitudes. Hezbollah's doctrine increasingly relied on this combination. Rockets would saturate the defenses. Drones would slip through the confusion, gathering intelligence or striking high-value targets. The strategy reflected a broader shift in modern warfare. Instead of relying solely on large, expensive weapons, militant groups and smaller forces were increasingly turning to cheap unmanned technology to challenge some of the most sophisticated militaries on Earth. And along the hills of southern Lebanon, Hezbollah had quietly prepared to use that strategy on a massive scale to confront this evolving threat. Israel has been forced to build one of the most complex layered air defense networks in the world. At its core is the system already familiar to civilians across the country, the Iron Dome. Designed to intercept short-range rockets and artillery shells, Iron Dome has repeatedly demonstrated its ability to destroy incoming projectiles before they reach populated areas. But Hezbollah's arsenal required more than a single layer of protection. To defend against larger missiles and longer-range threats, Israel deployed additional systems such as David's Sling and the Arrow missile defense system. Together, these systems form a defensive shield stretching from short-range rockets to ballistic missiles launched hundreds of kilometers away. Yet drones present a different challenge. Their small size makes them harder to detect with radar systems designed primarily for faster threats. To counter this, Israel has expanded its use of radar sensors, electronic warfare equipment, and air patrols capable of intercepting unmanned aircraft. Fighter jets, helicopters, and ground-based weapons are all used to shoot down incoming drones. For now, both sides appear cautious. But every drone that crosses the frontier and every rocket launched into the night sky serves as a reminder that the balance remains fragile. Along the border between Israel and Lebanon, the next escalation may arrive not with warning, but with the faint mechanical buzz of another drone rising into the air.